Welcome back to our channel. In this video we're going to break down how to create this beautiful paper transition. I think you can use it anytime and anywhere. It's very easy, very simple to create, and without further ado, let's get started. So we're already in Premiere Pro and we have a clip on the timeline. I also added a few different paper textures to the project. So by the way, I'll be using our paper project, over 200 different paper assets, and if you want to save time, I highly recommend our paper project. This pack is absolutely time saver and gives you a premium high quality assets. If you're interested, I'll leave a link below this video. By the way, you can also find any paper assets on the internet absolutely free. First, I'll split our clip where this scene changes. I'll do it 4 times. Now I'll take the screenshots from our clip. For me, 4 or 5 screenshots is enough, and I think it's really perfect number for the transition. Click the export frame icon, name the file and choose where to save it. Then move on and find the next frame. Do other screenshots, just find interesting moments from your clip and take screenshots. Save all the screenshots in one place, so it will be easier to add them to the project later. Once everything is ready, we can add the screenshots to the project. Then add the screenshot 1 on the timeline and maybe place paper 15 on the top of it. Select screenshot 1, right click and hit nest. I'll call it just 1. Go to effects panel and find track made key effect and apply it to the screenshot. Now in the made drop down, select video 3, since our paper is on the track 3, and it's done. But I think we miss our paper texture, and let's add the paper texture. For that, just duplicate the paper and place it above. Go to effects control panel and change the blending mode to screen. I always add the contrast to the paper using curves, so go to window and enable lumetri color. In the curves tab, make a similar curve to mine. Once you are happy with the result, select the screenshot and the paper layers. Right click and nest them. I'll call it 01 paper or just 1 paper. Now we need to do the same steps for the remaining screenshots. Also add them to the timeline, nest each screenshot, call it 2, 3 and 4, then add the paper, apply the track made key to the screenshot and duplicate the paper. We're not animating yet, we're just preparing everything for the transition. By the way, you can save the transition and use it as a template for the future animation, so make use of it. We can start moving each screenshot with the paper, we can scale, position it, rotate and so on. But for that, I always add the transform effect. Uncheck use composition shutter and set the shutter angle to 180. Now create the first keyframe for scale. I also slightly rotate our screenshot, set scale to 105, move 5 frames forward and set it to 100. I think we can shorten the animation by 1 frame and see how it looks. It's good, but I want to make it even 1 frame shorter. By the way, you will be able to adjust this later, so don't be afraid to try different keyframes timings. I think it looks very good, not too fast and not too slow. For the second keyframe, I'll lower the scale a bit to 95. Now we can copy the transform effect and paste it to the second screenshot. I'll change the rotation and tweak the scale values a bit. I'll make them smaller than the first screenshot. I mean, the first screenshot in our transition will have the largest scale and the others will get the smaller. But you can do it your own way and experiment. Also copy the transform effect and paste it on the third screenshot. Change the rotation and tweak the scale values. This animation goes from big to small. Now we can copy and paste transform effect to the last screenshot. Again, adjust the scale and rotation values. Let's make the screenshots appear one after the other. Just create a staircase like layout in the timeline. Offset each screenshot by 3 frames and move the next one. Then do the same again and so on. Now we can easily edit the animation and adjust the scale keyframes. I noticed the second screenshot is too big. so I'll change the scale values. Do the same for the third and the last screenshot. When everything is ready, offset by frames from the start of our last screenshot and trim all screenshots and delete the extra parts. Select screenshot 1, go to effects and find the brightness and contrast effect. For brightness, set the keyframe to 100, then move forward 3 frames and set it to 0. That gives us a quick flashlight effect. Now copy and paste it to the other screenshots. Let's add another effect. Go to effects and look for drop shadow effect and edit. Set opacity to 100, distance to 0 and softness to around 350. Copy the drop shadow effect and paste it to the other screenshots. Now select all the screenshots, right click and net them. I'll call it just paper transition. Now we can move the transition wherever we want on the timeline. For example, let's place it between 2 clips and see how it looks. To be honest, I don't like that. There is too much happening on the screen, so I'll move the transition to the beginning of the next clip. I also want to make the animation 1 frame longer for each screenshot, and to do that you can go into the paper transition composition and adjust the keyframes as needed. As I said before, you can adjust some parameters, scale, rotation, position and so on absolutely easily, and I'll make the scale animation here a little bit longer. Also don't forget to extend the brightness keyframes. I also increase the gap between screenshots from 3 to 4 frames and extend each screenshot. Let's back in the main composition. Also don't forget to extend the paper transition composition, and now it already looks much better to me. What I like is that you can do whatever you want with your screenshots. For example, I want them to be black and white, so I just go into each composition and adjust it. It's very simple and very easy. I'll do it with the Lumetri color panel. I'll set saturation to 0 and that's it. Just don't get lost between and switching compositions. To make this transition even more interesting and cooler, I'll add the texture from our paper project. I'll place the texture below our transition, select the texture and change its blending mode to screen. In Lumetri color, I'll lower the saturation to make the texture black and white, and look at this. It looks even better and I really like it. But let me try adding one more thing. You don't have to do it, I'm just experimenting right now, and maybe it will look more interesting and great. I create adjustment layer and place it above our transition, trim the excess. Now look for posterized time effect and add it to the adjustment layer. I'll set the frame rate to 80 and let's pre-render and see what we got. And yo, I don't know why our animation now starts from the bottom and then goes up, but I think it looks super cool. I think you could also add the posterized time effect inside the paper transition and then the animation wouldn't break, but actually I like this version even more. And guys, what do you think about this transition? How do you like this transition? Please let me know in the comments. I think it looks insanely cool and it's not too hard to make, it's super easy to customize, it's just a perfect transition. As I said earlier, I used our paper project for this tutorial, so if you're interested in over 200 different paper assets, you can create various animations, transitions, mixed media and so on. So if you're interested, I'll leave a link below this video and you can find the project there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the content. Give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments or some recommendations if you have. See you in the next one. Good luck.